An Oklahoma man has devoted his whole life to a special breed of horses, and in doing so, he has preserved an important part of not only Oklahoma, but of the nation's history. Today, some 250 Choctaw horses, whose bloodlines date back hundreds of years, are enjoying the good life thanks to the dedication of Bryant Rickman, who has made good on a difficult promise he made some 30 years ago. When they aren't chomping on food, these colorful, unique animals are playful and feisty. They love to run just for the sheer joy of it. They are called colonial Spanish Mustangs. The breed was brought to North America in the 15th century by Spanish explorers in search of gold. Many Native American tribes had never seen horses before, and in a battle with Hernando de Soto and his conquistadors in 1541, Indians took many of their foes' horses. After some years of running wild and breeding with other horses, they became known as Mustangs. Today, these particular Mustangs are unique because they are tied to Oklahoma's earliest history. They have survived despite man and because of one man, Bryant Rickman.
Come on!
Rickman tends to the bands of horses on meadowland near the Kiamichi Mountains in southeastern Oklahoma. These are his Choctaw Horses. A DNA study reveals this is the same breed that carried Native Americans and their belongings along the Trail of Tears into Indian Territory, Oklahoma in the early 1800s. Along the trail, 10,000 Indians would die of exposure, disease, and starvation. 2,000 of their beloved horses also perished. By the early 1980s, only a handful remained. They roam freely on Blackjack Mountain with hundreds of other Mustangs.
Up on the mountain, they had free range. They could run on 1,000,000 acres, and they would all be that fat or fatter year-round. They had so many plants to choose from to eat. They had, we've had horses up there that go, live 28 years that we know of up there and never see a veterinarian or anything, never have their hooves trimmed. Their feet stay in perfect shape.
The horses were established on Blackjack Mountain by Gilbert Jones in the 1960s. Rickman shared Jones's love of the free-spirited horses and promised that when Jones passed on, he would continue to look over the breed on the mountain.
I would have never gave the promise or whatever that I would take care of the horses the rest of my life, had I known that we wouldn't be able to keep them up on the mountain.
7 years after Jones died, Rickman learned lumber companies which owned the land would no longer let the Mustangs roam free there.
And it was just a big hardship. It was their land, and we just didn't ever dream we'd have to move them, and it created terrible hardship on the horses and on us.
Beginning in 2007 and over the course of the next 3 years, Rickman caught as many of the wild horses as he could and relocated them on other land in the region.
When I went through all his records, I saw there was only 9 females that was known of anywhere that was still the straight old Oklahoma Choctaw horse, according to their records. And then later it proved, DNA proved it to be their records were right,
Rickman kept his focus on mating those Choctaw horses with each other. Today, Rickman has about 250 of them, and he knows all of their ancestries.
The little brown one way up in front is her full sister.
Oh, really?
And then the next big brown one back here is her half-sister.
The only help Rickman gets is from volunteers, people like Libby and Larry Chambers from Oklahoma City.
We just felt like that this was a real cause for us. We've been married 28 years last week, and we've never really had a cause that we both felt so strongly about.
Several times a year, they come and stay a while and pitch in. It's hard work, but at the same time calming and peaceful.
There isn't any other horse that's just a breed that will mingle with people. They treat people just like other horses.
The Chambers aren't wealthy people, but every month they deposit $300 at the feed store to help Rickman fill up the horses' bellies.
I think what has drawn us back is that Bryant's love and dedication for the horses, everything he does for them, to try to keep this breed that is so important to Oklahoma history going.
At the age of 69, Rickman and his wife Darlene worry about the future of the breed, which they have committed their lives to. Tears filled Darlene's eyes when asked what the horses mean to her.
What she won't tell you is she had 2 really serious bouts with cancer, and really I think that her horses helped her get through that more than anything, because she was...
You went?
I just said I'd sit out there with them.
She'd go
And
sit.
they'd come around me.
She'd go sit out in the pasture.
They had a special spirit about them.
Anyone interested in helping preserve the Choctaw horses is invited to visit their website, spiritofblackjackmountain.com.